One of the ways that MLS is trying to grow the game is trying to figure out the calendar. Can you discuss what is being proposed right now? And it looks like it's probably a done deal, right?
It's not a completely done deal, but it's a deal. It's very close. Look, in the major countries in Europe and a lot of the world, soccer is a fall to spring through the winter afternoon kickoff sport. In the United States, it's a summertime, nighttime kickoff sport. So MLS is going to play a little more like the rest of the world. They're going to play in the colder weather. I hope they're going to play a lot more afternoon games than they have, which will not only let fans be in the stands when the sun's out, but will also, I think, get a few more eyeballs worldwide and in Europe and so on the league. If you think about, a 2:30 kickoff at Subaru Park is 7:30 p.m. in London and 8:30 in France and Germany and Italy and a lot of other places where you want people to be watching your games. So I think all these things are beneficial. I do think we all know, whether here in Philadelphia or down in Texas or Florida or wherever it may be, how hot it gets in the summer these days. Probably a little too hot for anyone's good health.
It gets real cold in the winter, though.
Well, but you get the thunderstorms too and all this other stuff. And as I said, it's one thing here, but in Texas and Florida and other places in the country, it gets brutal in Nashville and Charlotte, as we saw during the Club World Cup, in St. Louis. Even in a place like Portland, Oregon, it can get up to 100 degrees in the summer now. It's not great.
And the reason why they're doing it is to match, you say, the transfer.
Yes.
For other leagues. It makes it easier.
What we call the transfer market, what everybody here would call the trade deadline, I think, in other sports. And it's not just free agency. It's more than that because we're talking about a global game. But it is absolutely true. I'll take Julian Carranza as an example. When he went to Feyenoord in the Netherlands, he had to go in the summer because Feyenoord's season was starting at that point. And so if the Union had been able to sell him at a time that was both their and the buying club's off-season, it would have been a lot easier, I think, to negotiate a deal that would have made everybody happy and made everybody some money. Guys leave during the summer. The Union have gotten a little lucky. If you think about their two most famous transfer deals, Brendan Aronson and Mark McKenzie, they got lucky that they were able to make those work in the winter. A lot of other teams around the league have had to struggle with, I'm getting an $8, $9, $10 million offer for my star player in July and August, but I want to make a playoff run. What do I do? This is going to fix that finally, and that's a big deal. I'll mention one other thing, too, when we talk about the timing. It used to be you'd get, a number of guys in MLS who'd go to play for the U.S. national team in the Gold Cup, maybe which is the CONCACAF regional tournament. Maybe one or two would go play for Costa Rica or Jamaica, as Andre Blake does, or so on. Now you've got guys who play in the Euros. You've got guys who play South America in the Copa America. You've got the Olympics. You've got a Gold Cup every 2 years, a Club World Cup, a World Cup. Now you're in a situation where MLS is not going to have to worry about losing 60 or 70 guys for a month in the middle of the season.
Yeah, that hurts the league, hurts viewing interest.